So we're talking about Liquid Death, and I'm drinking Cherry Obituary. Sponsor me. No. And I'm just saying that they have some new flavors.
Subtle, James. Very subtle.
That's how you do it. Russell, I was trying to get Big Pens to sponsor us here. My co-hosts love Big Pens, and I'm like, I found their website. I'll see what they can do. Right? You never know. Stranger things have happened. I once got sponsorship from Barefoot Bubbly. I had a show at AfterBuzz TV on Black Hollywood Live called Breaking Into. It was on for 3 years. I won an award for it. And all that. Oh my God, I'm famous. But I one day I saw a thing online. They're like, "Would you like to be an ambassador or blah, blah, all this kind of stuff?" And so I reached out to them. It's for some other thing, but I reached out and said, "I have a TV show. Literally, I have a TV show, and I love Barefoot Bubbly. I mean, the stuff's good. They have like peach and this and rosé. It's all cute." So they're like, "Oh my God, of course." They sent me a giant box worth of $500 worth of booze, first of all. I
Wow.
had more booze I could drink in a minute. And then it came with also shades with the little Barefoot logo on it, uh,
Oh.
wine stoppers, which I still have, frisbees, I mean, all this stuff. So on my show every week until I ran out, I do like a live read. Hi, this is Barefoot Bubbly, blah, blah, blah. And they loved it. It was I had all this free booze and Barefoot Bubbly. It's good for like a Sunday brunch. It's like it's good
Oh.
for something light. It's light. It's fruity, light, like me. It's all those things, light and fruity. But I loved it. I thought it was kind of, but again, a closed mouth does not get fed. You don't ask, you don't get. So that was a fun time. So that's for about a year. About a year. But I had so much bubbly. Oh my God, it was crazy. Bumping the glasses off for a minute and take them off, and it was a lot of fun. The lights companies, all kind of stuff like that. And I have a bunch of partnerships with people who just send me product. I'm all sent it to me. I'll talk about it on my show. So I don't care. I like free.
Maybe you could ask Ghirardelli Chocolates to perhaps sponsor our show, and we would be happy to sip their cocoa and eat their chocolate on air.
What? I'm writing that down. You never know, right? And
You
of course,
never know.
and Ghirardelli, of course, I'm from San Francisco, was big up there. So I always go to.
Where you once lived.
I once
So
lived for 16 years.
long time.
I know I've been back 16 years, so it's a tie. So
Oh, how fun. That's cool.
I mean, I celebrated 16 years in January. I came back to LA, which I can't believe. I mean, that was the best decision I ever made in my life. The
So
best.
you came back in '08,
Yeah. No, beginning of '09.
beginning of '09. Okay.
So 16 years.
Yep.
20. I know I'm not good at math either, girl. But it's 20 years. I came back.
Yeah.
I came back. I left San Francisco January 15th, 2009, and arrived in Los Angeles.
Because I remember you arrived and you went right into your organizational company, right? Like you started your own company.
Well, it's like, within that time, because I came back to LA with no plan. I had 2 jobs booked through Virgo Talent. I'm trying to think it was those 2 jobs. I had a commercial booked, but it wasn't going to be for a month. It was the "Can You Hear Me Now" commercial, which I did. And then I had a non-speaking role booked on a show called Privilege. It was on WB, where there's a WB, remember that? And I was playing the gay guy's brother. And if you want to watch the finale, you'll see me in a blue shirt. I had booked both those roles, but they weren't until later. So I literally had my 401k, my last check from Insurance Skill Center, whatever little bits of money I had in my account. They came back to LA. I was like, "Now I'm gonna do." And I'm telling you, oh my God, the first 2 weeks in so I guess it was the last 2 weeks in January. My first 2 weeks in LA, last 2 weeks in January, the weather was beautiful. It was like
Mm.
this was sunny and clear on a clear day. Lights and look around. It was like LA opened her arms and said, "Welcome back, James Lott Jr. Let me give
Welcome
you
home.
80-degree weather in January."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, it's been so long I've seen this," because San Francisco was freezing and everything. So for a few weeks, girl, I didn't. So I almost start cussing again. I didn't do nothing. I partied every day. That's all I did for 2 weeks. And then, like in February, I started getting a little serious. And that's when my aunt was like, "You have a business in here somewhere. There's something going on." That's when the organizing started. So I've been organized 16 years too. So I've been organized 16 years. I started around that.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, I'm an old timer. I'm an old timer. I just don't
No, 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 mm-mm. No,
long
no,
timer. Long timer.
no, no long timer, no old timer, experienced.
Veteran.
There you go. Don't I don't want to hear old in the same sentence of anything else that we do at the show. James reminded me on a previous taping not so long ago that we have birthdays coming up.
Yes, we do.
So I'm protesting starting right now.
Well, it was funny too, also for you and I, because I was like, okay, so one of our friends, who I'm really good friends with, Todd Jackson,
Yeah.
and Miss Sherry, my girl,
Uh-huh.
I met them when they first got together,
Yeah, that's a long
and they
time ago.
just celebrated, I think, 20 years married.
Yeah, and kids
I
in
go,
college, right?
yeah, Claire. So I go, wait a minute. That means I've known you. He goes, yeah, before we were, you said you met us at the conference when we first got together. I was like, oh my. So I'm saying for you and I too, we're coming up on like, or have we passed? I think
Long
we already
time.
passed 20 years. But we're heading towards,
Yeah.
I want to say I met you in 2003 or 3 or 4.
No.
No?
When was I think oh five maybe?
No, I met you in my first conference was Monterey.
Mine was too. So again, we have that in common. Like
So what
almost
am I gonna say?
everything else.
I know like that. Okay, so you weren't there that year I went. Then I get
Oh
really.
no, I was
So you
back.
weren't.
You're right. You're right. No, it was 03, I think.
As I'm saying, I met you
03 or
because
04.
by the time we got to Napa, we were friendly. By the time we got to
Oh
Napa,
yeah. Oh my gosh. Speaking of Napa,
I love
I
Napa.
was going through some files in the drawer and I came across an envelope with pictures, and you and I are sitting next to each other at a table in my suite during the party, and we were playing quarters,
Yeah, I remember
and you
that.
and I
I
were
remember
sitting
that.
right next to each other, and I'm
I
like,
we were next to each other.
what?
I remember that. I don't have those pictures, but I remember we played. I remember I first remember playing quarters. I never played before.
Oh my God, it was so, we were having so much fun. But
Yes,
you and I literally are sitting side by
because we were
side.
friends. We were friends. Keep on saying that.
So
Dude,
I
I
mean,
did not
and I
remember
came
that.
across that this week over the weekend when I was kind of trying to
So
clean a
funny.
little stuff up over here. I was like, oh my God, it's James.
No, we were friends. I mean, by the time we got to because even Vegas, Palm Springs, were friends.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so I think we had to meet up. We had to meet up at. You just weren't a chairperson yet. But I think you were on a committee. We met at Monterey.
Yes. Well, I was a chairperson in Napa. That was
Right,
my
right,
year.
right.
But in Monterey, I flew up with one of our friends. Um, didn't realize the plane was going to be so small. I was a little nervous on the flight up, and had a great time. It was a crazy one.
Well, remember, apparently it says before my time because I started a Shared Skill Center around in 2002, helping
Okay.
out Nick, and I was going to leave to LA then. I had moved all my stuff to LA. It was a 3 hour tour, and I was going to just be here for a few months and then leave. Then I moved. I left my apartment. I did everything. I moved in with Nick and David, and David and I got like just like, oh my god, I love James. This is great. We were getting on fine. I had my own room and everything. And so then August came, and they're like, James, are you staying? I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I really enjoyed the job. It was like fun. You're traveling everywhere. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I was making money, and I was like, oh my god. And so me and David and Nick sat down and came with this whole plan for me, and I stayed for like 10 years. But I started in 2002, so I missed that first round because I was just helping out Nick as an assistant. I remember I think David went to Blue Ribbon. I remember, and then Nick went to. I didn't do any of that stuff. My first thing I ever went to was, of course, when I first came to help was the agribusiness conference in Sacramento in March that year. That was the first
Okay.
conference I went to. The next conference I went to was the Palm Springs getaway we used to run in the following January.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't
Now,
go to the getaways.
yeah, you do those. So that's only that first in 2002. That was the first two things I went to. That was it. But he went for that year, and apparently I don't know if you were there in 2002, but that year is when they had to call the cops. And there
No,
was
I was not.
fights. There was like a whole bunch of stuff. I won't say more, folks. But apparently it was like wild. So they were like, "Oh my goodness!" Like James, you have so much fun. It's gonna be a good conversation. But I said, "But Monterey, like I had no clue." Bless that.
I think that they had cop issues in Monterey too. I think
Oh, they
that,
did. They did. I mean,
or there was a threat of calling because there was a certain group of folks that were having way too much
yes,
fun and the
yes,
hotel was not happy with
yes,
them.
yes.
And, so
Yes. I had no idea, kids. I was innocent. I had no idea these insurance people.
I heard later. I wasn't even there. I think I left with friends because that's what you end up doing. You start splintering off. And I didn't go back to the after party
All right, right.
because there was like, oh, here's the after party. And then there's the after party after
Yes,
party.
that was
Yeah, I was
before
like, no,
those.
I'm
Yeah.
going to skip that and go do something else. That's where it all happened.
Well, so I had to be careful because for me, I had to get up the next morning to get set shit up.
We
So
all did.
I know, but I'm saying, but Nick and I was so used for always like, James, we got fun. We gotta make sure. So it was like stuck in my brain. So I want to do a good job. I want to make sure I do a good job, and I want to make sure I don't want to disappoint Nick. I was just so new in my. I want
Right.
to make sure. So I'm like, so for me, there were some years I go to after later on. I was a little more relaxed. I could do it. But at the beginning, I was like, no, like you, I was like, I got to go back to my hotel. I'm gonna get some sleep, get like 2 hours, whatever. But I got to get
Yeah.
some sleep. I can't go 24 hours and do.
Well, I needed more than two, but I mean, please.
We were young. What are you talking about? We were in our 30s. We were young.
Okay, so we were in our mid 30s. And well, no, Monterey would have been a couple years before, but when Napa, we were in our mid 30s, and by then I felt like an old lady.
Yeah, running a Yback. Okay, folks. Why they changed the name since, but Yback was Young Brokers and Agents. So the joke was for me and Nick, we're too old for it. Like that was always our joke. Like we're running, helping you run this thing, but and Jill turned like we're all too old for this. Like that was always our joke. But it was so much fun. I mean, in all seriousness, there was a lot of really great things. We brought great instructors. We had great topics. There was a lot of learning. There was a lot of great. We had a lot of great stuff there, a lot of good stuff there. But there was fun to be had at the same time.
Right. Because I don't think that people think of fun when someone says insurance conference, but these were fun. Like we did, by the time I was chairperson, there was a big push to make it more professional. So we introduced professional development track. So you could go like a continuing education track and get credits on your license, or you
Yes.
go professional development track, which didn't have any continuing education. Uh, I think I need some more medicine, James. I'm having a heck of an allergy day.
Good, though. You're
Um,
doing good. You're doing good.
and I think that helped and hurt at the same time because it fractured everybody being in the same classroom. Although there were different CE tracks, it's just, I don't know. I thought the professional development track in Napa was really good because it was the first
Yes.
year and everyone's kind of excited about it. And then it just kind of became, oh, let's make it for everybody and let's not brand it as young agents and brokers. And we're like, wait, what?
I'm like, I heard Insurefest. Like, what's that? A year.
Yeah, what is InsureFest? What does that even mean? And it just got
Well,
kind of diced up.
well, I remember when I was told, and you know more of this than I do. I mean, I was told we are trying to promote perpetuation. That was the whole thing was you want to get the next generation in
Of
there.
course.
That's the whole. That's why I said the young brokers and agents. Of course, you could be any age and come up with but back then, the whole point was it was for the youth, like the ones that were coming into it, and there's supposed to be. I was told it's supposed to be this place where you come learn some stuff, but you also make networking opportunities, maybe build some business. There was a whole thing. So
We
I
had trade shows,
trade shows. Yeah.
where wholesale brokers and carriers would come and it gave young agents an opportunity to start doing their own networking, with underwriters and brokers. And it was just kind of it was in itself a business development program for young agents and brokers. Well, the IIABA still has their
The one,
young
the
agent.
one, that was one.
They still have their young agent conference and they still have their committee and they do all, I don't know if it's a conference, but they do have a young agents committee. I think that's super important because they're, again, perpetuation in our industry is so big. How could you not have a young agent series or something, you know?
I went to a Big I conference once with Nick, and we had the best time. We didn't work it; we were just there. We were there as special guests. We didn't have to work it or nothing. I got to know the girls there. We had a great time. I had so much fun. Um, it was a lot of fun. But back to our thing, we had such great instructor. We had people like Marjorie Segali and Al Paris. Like we had these great instructors. Casey Ross
Yes.
would come in. We brought them into you guys. It was like their class. I mean, I'm telling you, folks. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but there were certain classes because of the teacher, I was like, wow, enthralled in what they were talking about. I mean, all seriously, a teacher can make the difference. They really can make a
Absolutely.
difference. And we had some, I mean, because Marjorie especially, and shout out to her. I know she lost her son not too long ago, and I'm so heartbroken.
Oh,
I reached out. We actually spoke a little bit. I hadn't talked to her in years, but it was a tragic thing to happen with her son, but her only child. But she's a phenomenal. She's so smart. She knows so much of this business. There were some of her classes. I help her set them up, and we get all ready. And then I see some of her power. So I look over her PowerPoint presentations and all this stuff, and make sure they're all good and stuff. And there's some. She was so good. Those people loved it. They ate her a lot. They loved it. They loved it.
yeah, absolutely. I
They,
remember.
yeah.
I
Oh, I
was
know.
there.
You were there. You were there. I'm just saying for me who wasn't trying to get any, I'm a
Yeah.
person helping. I was doing all the CEs. I was doing all the CE. I was doing all the maintenance. But I mean, I was sitting. So we had to monitor some of the classes too, like you guys did, and I was learning. I was like, why did I do that? And like, oh my god, it's so exciting. And it to do with the teachers. The teachers they were really good. There was the Wybacks, like I said, we're joking around about some of the after stuff, but there was some really good stuff that you guys put together year after year, the years that I was there.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we'd have to have programming to support the ask of the agency principals to let their young insurance professionals leave for 3 working days and pay for the conference. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, we're just a big party. We had to have educational component or else it would just be a party with a committee.
Right. It was
So it was serious. We took it
yeah, no,
seriously and then we started taking it more seriously and then it changed.
I just want to say though, folks. I mean, when you think event planning is easy, I did it all year long. I put together.
Event planning.
I did event planning. I
Yeah.
did 13 conferences a year, plus helping out because we didn't run that conference. We helped out at that conference, but on my own, I ran 13 conferences a year and 2 getaways. And people were telling, "Oh my God, James, that's a lot." I mean, yeah, 'cause we had almost a conference every month, and we were doing that's from site inspection to contract negotiation to pre-conference to on-site post. I did all that. I mean, I was worn out by the time I left. But I'll tell you, that's why I want to say that not just to build myself up, but to say that it's a lot of work. And we put your committee members to work. I mean, everybody pre-conference worked hard, putting those bags together with all the sponsorship materials. But that alone, it was fun. But it was like we did work hard. So I always feel
We
like
did.
it was like the work hard, play hard. Like we were able to do both.
Yes. And it's so important because you build these relationships and you have no idea who you're going to reconnect with or stay in touch with. And it's just, I think that the folks that I met and got close with, I can call on those folks anytime. They can call on me anytime, and we would be there for one another just because we were at the same place at the same time doing collaborative work and just enjoyed each other. And we're all competitors, so that doesn't make a lot of sense in a lot of
Right.
industry, but in our industry, it does. So that's the aspect that I absolutely loved, that I couldn't convince my father that it's a good thing to know your competitors and stop seeing them only as competitors, but colleagues who can rely on one another. And he fought me on it all the way. And he did not want me engaging. He did not want me doing anything related to going someplace where there were other insurance agents and brokers. Now, in hindsight, I probably think he was a little concerned that I might leave and go work for one of
Oh,
them.
oh, okay.
So he felt like anxious about that, maybe. But, once I joined the local insurance association here, and I showed him and I brought him to some of the events, he totally chilled out and got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But at first he was like, no, you're not doing this. That's time away from me and my business. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not offering real professional development here. I need to seek that outside the agency. And that really was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's right. Well, he was old school. It's like, you do your business and they do their business. And
Yeah. And they would fight. He would fight with people. And I'm like, what are you fighting about? Uh, God
so,
rest his soul.
yeah, may rest in peace. That's crazy. No, I know. For us, I know to this day, like Mike Scott is on one of my audio dramas. Like, he actually is a voice actor. I
He's
met
so
him
amazing.
there, and he's wonderful on it, and it's a hit show. And it's like, so you just never know. And we have our show, and I still talk to Derek Ross, and I talk to Jeffrey Lang. I talk to like I said, I talk to these people like, I just know that I never know. There's been times when I've had to reach out to Steve Young, and he was there for me a couple of times. Like there's just you make these people, but we said before on the show last year how you can make lifelong friends on this thing on this in
Yeah.
this industry because the industry kind of supports that.
Right.
You might talk every day, but I know there are folks I can call. Oh, but I know there's a bunch of ones I can call. I'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, can you give me some advice on this? And I know they would, and they would be truthful with me. They would tell me the truth. Where you say like, right, in other industries, it's not like that. I can't even say that in Hollywood. In Hollywood, I got a few people I can call, but most of them are so guarded and jealous and whatever. You can't even call them.
Yeah.
And
That's
insurance,
unfortunate.
yeah. But so for us, I'm saying I think we're over 20 years now at this point, heading towards 25. I guess at this point, I mean, getting heading towards that direction. And I feel like 3 or 4 years. Because if we met jobs in 3 or 4, it's already been 20 years, right?
Yeah.
20, 22
No,
years.
for sure. I'm having a hard time. Today's not a great day to
Yeah,
think
I know. Yeah, I know. Yes.
for me, but I will figure it out. I will figure out the actual year of
Okay.
Monterey.
Okay, she's gonna do it because I don't know it either. I don't know. I don't. Wait a minute.
And then we'll know from what the actual
Wait a minute.
year
I'm gonna look up
was
right now. I'm gonna see. Like, I'm
versus.
gonna see. I'm just gonna Google really quick, see if it comes up in Google.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know because this is pre Google and stuff. I don't even know if they would.
If
Okay,
it'll come up.
let's see.
Yeah.
But typing it right now.
Pre-Google. Oh
Oh my
my
god,
God.
it was
You're
pre Google.
right.
It was. It's crazy. 2004. So I'm gonna type it. I'm gonna do that first. Okay, and yeah, so far that isn't gonna come up that way. We'll do this way. We'll type it. So we'll type it this way. And we'll keep it. Some it won't be too long. So I'm just going to look a couple times. Not, we'll look it up. We'll look it up and get back to you guys. But I'm just trying to think. Young Brokers and Agents of California conference 2004. I'll start there. See when it comes up. Oh, okay. Let's see. First thing it comes up is from August 12th, 2004. In the Independent Agent, which is a magazine. It says, I'm clicking on to see what happens. This is so fun. I'm going back in the past. It's crazy. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. Um, Sales and Leadership Conference prepares young agents for leadership roles. So it's a story about it. Oh no, see, wait, it's it's for the Big I because the Big I one, I guess, it's the Big I one. It's in Orlando, Florida, in October. So that wasn't us. Okay, yeah, it's not us. That's the big I one. You have to do some we have to do some research. We'll have to get back to everybody on that one because I don't want to waste so much time on that. But I am. But yeah, that's wow. I found that one picture of you back in the day, and Flo was like, "Oh my god, look at her dark hair."
Oh, I know.
And it was like the same. It was the same thickness. She always had hair. She always had hair. I think she always had
How
hair.
I have, thankfully to my parents,
Yeah.
but the picture that the picture that I have of us, we're laughing and
Oh,
we're sitting at the table. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I do. I remember,
me too.
I
Oh, me too.
remember that moment. I remember who else was at the table.
Me too.
And I don't know who snapped that photo of you and me, but I thank them because I have it now
All right.
forever.
No, we were friends for a long time. We were joking, folks. We were friends for a long time. Like I said, she's
Yeah.
before all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So yes. So that was baby Jamie. Baby.
No.
Well, close enough. I said I got, I mean, I would say David's known me longer than that because he's known me since I was like 25, 24. No, that's 24.
Yeah.
So he knows I was really a baby when I was young and tender. Oh, now I'm just tenderized.
Yeah, life will do that to you.
It will, but we're still hanging here. So I guess we'll end it here. So this is Coffee and Conversation with James and
Melissa.
thanks for coming and going down memory lane. I love going down memory lane. Because those old days bring warmth to me. So when we talk about it, I smile. They were a lot of fun. Like I said, we're still friends with many of them. We all smile. We have a collective experience, like going to college or somewhere. We all have that. And those days are over. They just don't have it. Is times like that aren't like that anymore. They're not like that anymore. It's like life has moved on. But our show is there for you every week. We come on Mondays. Check it out. We are on all streaming service platforms, and we're also on YouTube at JLJ Media, where I'm celebrating 20. No, not shooting wrong thing. 15 years on YouTube this month.
Congratulations.
I can't believe it either. I've been on it 15 years since April. Yeah, April, whatever that was, 15 years ago. So that's coming up, and I'm like, that's crazy for me. But I appreciate, and she appreciates, we appreciate your support of our show, and we'll see you next Monday.